Are you ready for some football? You know I am, folks. Big Al here. It is Wednesday, September the 9th, 2020. And we are a little more than 24 hours away from Kickoff 2020 in the National Football League. And this is my Week 1 preview. First off, I gotta give a big shout out to sportsalerts.com. That's where I got all the lines and point spreads from all the NFL games. Also, a big shout out to 506sports.com for all the maps surrounding every Sunday afternoon game and every broadcast team of every game on the schedule. So shouts out to those two. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into my Week 1 preview. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. This is the game that will be on our televisions tomorrow night. The defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs begin defense of their title as they battle Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. That's tomorrow night at 8:20 Eastern on NBC with your announcers Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Alright. Here's what I think will happen here. The Chiefs will win this game 31-20. I don't think the Texans will jump out to a 24-0 lead like they did in the playoffs last year. There's just no way lightning's going to strike twice. My personal opinion. Anyway, the current point spread is Kansas City minus 9 points. And the over-under in this game is 54. And that is the largest point total on the Week 1 docket. I have Kansas City, as I said, winning 31-20. And I've got them covering the 9 points. And I have this game finishing just under the 54-point total. Alright, now to the Sunday afternoon games. You have 9 games starting in the early 1 p.m. Eastern window. And in alphabetical order, you got the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. That game will be seen on Fox at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon with your announcers Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. This game will pretty much be seen in portions of the Great Lakes region, including Chicago and Detroit, as well as Indianapolis, Grand Rapids, Flint, Peoria, Illinois, the Quad Cities, Springfield, Illinois, Evansville, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Indiana, as well as Toledo, Ohio. So the local Fox affiliates in those cities will be getting this game. The current line from sportsalerts.com has the Lions favored at home by 3 and the over-under at 43.5. I'm taking the Lions to win this one 24-16 because they have a high-powered offense, and the Bears, they're starting Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback, and I do not trust him much like anyone else does. I have the Lions winning 24-16. I've got them covering the 3-point spread, and I have this game finishing under the 43.5. All right, the next game on the slate is the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. That's Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Your announcers are Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. Now, Charles Davis left the Fox broadcasting team to join CBS, and he replaces Dan Fouts as Ian Eagle's broadcast partner. All right, the Browns and Ravens. This game will obviously be seen in Cleveland and Baltimore, as well as Columbus, Oklahoma City, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Louisville, Norfolk, Richmond, and Tulsa, as well as small markets like Duluth, Minnesota, the Quad Cities, Chattanooga, West Virginia, Erie, Pennsylvania, Toledo, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Baltimore is favored in this game at home by 8 points. The over-under is 48. I have the Ravens winning this game 38-21. That's my straight-up pick. I've got them covering the 8 points, and I have this game finishing well over the 48. All right, next up is the other NFC North Division clash. As you figure, these two teams will probably battle for the division title come December. That's the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And this game will be announced by Chris Myers, Greg Jennings, former Packer, and Brock Heward. All right, this game will be seen in Green Bay, Milwaukee, the Twin Cities, as well as Boston, Buffalo, Charlotte, Denver, Kansas City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Louisville, Miami, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, Salt Lake City, St. Louis, Providence, right here in Phoenix, and to our neighbors to the south in Tucson. As well as smaller markets like Santa Barbara, El Paso, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, Wichita, Kansas, Des Moines, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, Madison, Wisconsin, West Palm Beach, Florida, Dayton, Ohio, and Erie, Pennsylvania. All right, the Vikings are favored at home by 2.5 points. The over-under is 45. However, I'm taking the underdog Packers to go into Minnesota and win this game 24-20. And I also have them covering Minnesota's 2.5 point spread. And I've got this game finishing just a single point below the 45 total. Up next is the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars, Sunday 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Your announcers are Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta. All right, this game will be seen in portions of the Great Lakes and the Southeast. In addition to Indianapolis and Jacksonville, this game will also be seen in Peoria, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Evansville, Indiana, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Savannah, Georgia, and Tallahassee, Florida. The Colts have the largest point spread of any team on the Week 1 board, as Indy is favored on the road by 9.5. The over-under is 45. I have the Colts beating Jacksonville, much like pretty much anyone will beat Jacksonville. 34-17 is the final I have written down. Got the Colts easily covering the 9.5 points. And I got the game also finishing over the 45-point total. All right. Our next game takes us to Charlotte as the Las Vegas Raiders visit the Carolina Panthers and their new head coach Matt Rule and their new quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. This game will be seen on CBS Sunday at 1 o'clock with your announcers Greg Gumbel and Rich Gannon. The Raiders-Panthers game will be seen in Las Vegas and Charlotte, as well as Albuquerque, Colorado Springs, Denver, Boise, Reno, Portland, Oregon, Sacramento, Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Raleigh, Durham, and Spokane, as well as smaller markets like Eugene, Springfield, Oregon, Fresno, Santa Barbara, Billings, Montana, Cheyenne, and Casper, Wyoming, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, South Carolina, and Augusta, Georgia. All right. The Raiders are favored by 3 points. The over-under is 47.5. I have Vegas winning 27-23. Got them covering the 3 points. And I have this game finishing over the 47.5 point total. Next is the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. This is the first of the 2 AFC East matchups in Week 1. This game will be seen Sunday at 1 Eastern on CBS. The announced team will be Jim Nantz and former Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo. In addition to broadcasting in both Boston and Miami, this game will also be seen in the following major markets: Dallas, Fort Worth, Hartford, Houston, Kansas City, Miami, Memphis, Nashville, New Orleans, Orlando, Phoenix, St. Louis, Austin, San Antonio, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Tucson, Providence, Anchorage, and Honolulu. Smaller markets receiving this game include El Paso, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, Wichita, Birmingham, Des Moines, Omaha, Little Rock, Jackson, Mississippi, West Palm Beach, Fairbanks, and Knoxville. The Pats are favored at home by 6.5. The over-under is 42. I've got New England winning 27-13 and covering the 6.5, but I got the game finishing just below the 42 points. The other AFC East battle hits the New York Football Jets and the Buffalo Bills from Orchard Park. Sorry about that, I have to clear my throat. That game is also Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. The announcers are Andrew Catalan and James Lofton. And the coverage area is pretty much confined basically to New York State. That's about it. As the game will be seen in New York City and Buffalo, as well as Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and Watertown, among other areas in New York State. Bills are favored at home by 6.5. The over-under is 39.5. I have Buffalo winning the game straight up 19-13. However, I got the New York Jets covering Buffalo's 6.5 point spread. And I got this game finishing below the 39.5 point total. All right, next game up. We're headed to the NFC East this time, as the Philadelphia Eagles travel to D.C. to face the Washington football team. Can't call them the Redskins no more because that name's racist. That's Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Burkhardt and the Moose, Daryl Johnston. This game, in addition to airing in both DC and Philly, will also air in Baltimore, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Hartford, Houston, New York City, Oklahoma City, Pittsburgh, Norfolk, Virginia, Richmond, San Antonio, Raleigh-Durham, and Tulsa, as well as Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Scranton-Wilkes-Barre, Rochester, Syracuse, and Albany, New York. All right. Philly, whose team does have a name, is favored on the road by 6 points. The over-under is 42. Give me my birds, baby. 27-17. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, you heard me right. Fly, Eagles, fly. Philly covers the 6 points, and I have the game finishing over the 42. And then rounding out the early portion of the schedule is the Battle of the Birds. as Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks travel to Atlanta to face Matt Ryan and the Falcons. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff from Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Fox with your announcers Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. In addition to airing this game in both Seattle and Atlanta, the Seahawks and Falcons will also air on the local Fox stations in Jacksonville, Memphis, Nashville, New Orleans, Orlando, Portland, Oregon, Reno, Boise, Sacramento, San Francisco, Tampa, St. Pete, Spokane, Anchorage, and Honolulu. Smaller markets airing the game include Eugene, Springfield, Oregon, Fresno, Bakersfield, Billings, Montana, Little Rock, Knoxville, Jackson, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, Tallahassee, Augusta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Fairbanks, Alaska. All right. And I think the Vegas odds makers gave this game a rather modest line. Maybe because it's a West Coast team traveling east. That's pretty much it. But Seattle is favored by just 2 points. The over-under is 48.5. I got the Hawks winning 31-24 and covering the 2 points. And I got the game finishing over the 48.5 point total. All right, now to the late window of the Week 1 schedule. Starting off with the Los Angeles Chargers in Game 1 of the post-Phillip Rivers era. They travel to Cincinnati to face Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, Joe Burrow, the national champion and Heisman Trophy winner from LSU, taking number 1 in this spring's draft. This game kicks off at 4:05 Eastern Time on CBS. And the announcers are Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. All right. So this game will be airing in areas that will not broadcast an early game on CBS. So the following markets will be carrying the Chargers and Bengals in that 4 p.m. Eastern window. That includes Los Angeles, Cincinnati, the two main markets in question, as well as San Diego, Bakersfield, Seattle, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Madison, Chicago, Grand Rapids, Flint, Detroit, Dayton, Lexington, Kentucky, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite in Cincinnati with an over-under total set at 42 points. I think Joe Burrow's going to have an awesome game. But whoever the Chargers start at quarterback, whether it's Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert, they'll probably do just enough to win this game. I think if you start Herbert, you'll probably have a better chance of winning than you would if you were to start Tyrod Taylor. Anyway, I have the Chargers winning 28-24. I have them covering the 3 points, and I also have this game finishing well over the 42 points. All right, now to game 2 of the Fox doubleheader. Starting off with the game of interest here locally in Phoenix, and that's the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers, the defending NFC champs. This game kicks off at 4:25 Eastern Time on Fox, and the announcers will be, there they are, Kevin Kugler and Chris Spillman. I think Kevin Kugler is taking the spot previously held by Tom Brenneman. That's a story for another day, though. Okay, this game, of course, will be airing primarily in Northern and Central California and across Arizona, whereas the rest of the country will get the next game we'll be talking about. So this game will be airing here in Phoenix and up in San Francisco, as well as Sacramento, Tucson, Fresno, and Reno. The Niners are favored by 7 points, and the over-under is 48. But this is my upset of the week. I think Kyler Murray can go in there and throw this 49er defense off balance. Give me Arizona 28-26, and then you can bash me next week about how wrong I was if San Francisco wins. Anyway, I got the Cardinals winning 28-26. I have them covering San Fran's 7-point spread, and I got this game finishing over 48 points. Now, the other game in the second half of Fox's doubleheader is one where about, say, 95% of the country will be watching. And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. It's Tom Brady versus Drew Brees, Part 1. That's at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. And of course, the best game has to have the best announced team. And Fox's best announced team is Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Alright, so this game is in the Superdome. And from what I understand, there will be limited fans in the Silverdome. I think they're playing to like 20% capacity or something. But either way, New Orleans is favored at home by 3.5. The over-under is 48. This will be a shootout. Because you have two quarterbacks well on their way to Canton in the next few years. No question about it. I'm going to give the home field advantage to the Saints here. So round one, I got going to Drew Brees. 34-24 over Brady's Bucks. I have New Orleans covering the 3.5 points. And this game will obviously finish over the 48 points. I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams score 30. That's how high-powered these offenses are. Alright, so that's the Sunday afternoon. That's the Sunday afternoon games. Now let's jump to Sunday Night Football. And kicking things off will be the Dallas Cowboys at the Los Angeles Rams. Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. The announcers are Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Cowboys are favored on the road by 3 points. Your over-under is 51.5, and that is the second highest point total on the board, behind only the Houston-Kansas City game. I got Dallas winning this one 31-16. I have Dallas covering the 3 points, and I have this game finishing just under that 51.5 point total. Alright, that brings us to our Monday Night Football twin bill. Starting off with game number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Football Giants. That is Monday night at 7:10 on ESPN. And the announcers are Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. I guess this is going to be the regular Monday Night Football broadcast team, replacing the fired Joe Tessitore and Booger McFarland. While Tessitore is still employed by ESPN, he's back doing college football. Anyway, the Steelers are favored by 6 points, and the over-under is 46. The last time the Steelers lost in the Meadowlands to the Giants was back in 1994. Bill Clinton was our president, and a guy by the name of Bill Cowher was in his third season as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was the last time the Steelers lost to the Giants in New York. Will it happen Monday night? No. I got the Steelers winning 28-16. Got them covering the 6 points. And I have this game finishing just below the 46-point total. And then the second game of the Monday night doubleheader and the finale of Kickoff Week 2020 pits the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Now, if you missed it last night, I made a video talking about the injury to Broncos linebacker Von Miller, which is feared to be season ending. That video is currently up on my channel. Go check that one out. Anyway, Tennessee, probably based on the Miller injury, is now favored in this game by 1.5. And the over-under is at 40.5, which would make it the second lowest point total on the board behind the Jets and Bills' 39.5 point total. Before Von Miller got hurt, I was going to take the Broncos because historically the Tennessee Titans have had struggles picking up wins early in the season, especially in September. But after getting word of the Von Miller injury, this is obviously a game changer, and I have shifted course, and I'm taking the Tennessee Titans to win this one on the road 24-17. And I also have them covering the modest 1.5 point spread, in this game finishing just over the 40.5 point spread, or the 40.5 point total, as I have the two teams combining for 41. Alright, so there it is. My week 1 preview of the National Football League, plus all my picks straight up and against the point spread. Alright, we will see how all the games turned out on Tuesday as we take a look at the week 1 review. And then we'll talk about week 2 next Wednesday. So join me for all of that. If you like the football talk, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell twice. Be notified whenever I load another video on this channel. So, that is it. Big Al signing off. Grab your wings, your pizza, your beer, whatever, and enjoy the gridiron action. I will talk to you next week. Peace out.